in the next class, please do remember me, okay, to start the recording. Okay, fine. So far we have discussed Euclid's division lemma, Euclid's division algorithm, and fundamental theorem of arithmetic. And yeah, next is what we are going to discuss is about irrational numbers. What do you mean by irrational numbers? Can anyone give me the example of irrational number? Yeah, it's difficult to type on the chat box. Just unmute and give me the answer.
Square root of 2, square root of 3, square root of
Yeah.
4. Sorry, 5.
Yes. Square root of 4, it can't be because it gives you integer, right? That gives you 2 as integer. For example, if you take the square root of p, where p is a prime number. Example, square root of 2, square root of 3, square root of 5, square root of 7, square root of 11, and we can give numerous examples. Also pi. So this is also a irrational number, and minus root 2 by root 3, also 0.10110111011110. Why pi is irrational? Can anyone tell me why pi is irrational? Why? याके? No idea. Yes, exactly. It has no end or non-terminating. And no, it is not terminating at all. It is non-terminating, this pi. Also, this number, this is terminating but repeating, right? So such numbers are, so this also will be non-terminating, I guess. Yeah. So such numbers, yeah, non-recurring or non-terminating, yeah. So such numbers are called as irrational numbers. So here we are going to prove the irrationality of a number. Why this root 2 or root 3 or root 5 or root 7, all these are irrational numbers. How we can prove this? That we'll discuss here. And before that, we need to keep in mind one theorem, that is theorem 1.3. So that actually states that let p be a prime number if p divides a square and then p divides a, where a is a positive integer. So remember, you need to remember this theorem. This theorem is very important. That actually, this is actually supportive to what we are going to discuss now. But of course, there is a proof that is given in your textbook. That is that is no need to go in deep. Just have a look at that theorem. Okay. So this theorem states that if there is any prime number, okay, if p divides a square, for example, if I take a prime number 3, then this 3 that divides a number a square, then P divides A as well. So where A is a positive integer. So A square is maybe I can take 27. Okay. So as 3 divides 27, right? So then what is, sorry, here A square is equal to 9. Then if 3 divides 9, then 3 divides 3 as well, that is A. Okay, this is what this theorem states that. And yeah, here is, we can, let me take one first example. That is example number 9 from your textbook. Here they have given how you can prove root 3 as irrational. Of course, before example 8 is given how you can prove root 2 is irrational. That is left to you. That just that is a homework for you. Okay, proving root 2 as irrational, and root 3 here I just prove why root 3 is irrational. Okay, the same thing, we just follow the same procedure in proving this irrationality of a number. Fine. Here let us assume the contradictory of this statement, or contrary of this statement, that is root 3 as rational. So let us assume that assume the contrary, that is root 3 is rational. Okay, so let us assume the contrary, that is reverse of this. You guys are familiar with this word, right? Contrary. Yes. You guys are familiar or not with the word contrary or contradiction, contradictory? So these words, so these actually says, no, that is actually the opposite. If there is one statement, we just consider its opposite thing. That is, here is the statement that is root 3 is irrational. Here we consider we just to prove root 3 is irrational, we consider that opposite to that, that is root 3 is rational. Then if it is a rational number, then it is of the form rational number, then it is of the form a by b, where b is not equal to 0. So this is the form that you have learned in class 9 about rational numbers, right? A by b, where b is not equal to 0. And here we take, that is root 3, as we have assumed root 3 is rational, then root 3 becomes a by b, and this a and b are here co-primes. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by co-primes? Co-primes. What is the definition of co-prime numbers? No idea. Yes or no? So co-primes actually, I'll just here. Co-prime numbers are set of numbers, actually is a set of number or integers which have only one as common factor. So those two numbers will have only one as common factor, that is the numbers, those two numbers will HCF as 1. For example, 15 and 8, 15 and 8. If I take 15 is having its factors as 1, 3, 5, as well as 15, right? So these are the factors it can have. And if I take 8, it will have 1, it is 2, also 4, and also 8. So these are the factors it can have. Am I right? So what is common here among these two? That is only 1 is common, and rest of numbers are not common factors. So such numbers are called as coprimes. So as here A and B are coprimes, okay, then we just rearrange this, that is root 3 is A by B, right? So just rearrange this, we can write this as B into root 3 is equal to A, then squaring on both sides, that is you get 3B square is equal to A. Then you can see here this equation actually states that A square is divisible by 3, right? A square is divisible by 3. So this is what this equation implies is A square is here A square, right? So this is A square. So A square is divisible by 3. That means A is also divisible by 3. That is from the previous theorem which we discussed. From this theorem, that is, if let P be a prime number, if P divides A square, then P divides A, where A is a positive integer. So here you can see this is a prime number. So if A square is divisible by 3, then A is also divisible by 3. And therefore, A and B have at least 3 as a common factor. So this says that as this is divisible by 3, so both numbers, that is A and B, have 3 as common factor. So that means they are not coprime numbers, right? So what we took as they are coprime numbers. That means A and B are having only 1 as their common factor. But look at here, this equation that actually states that is from previous theorem, we can see that if A square is divisible by 3, then A is also divisible by 3. That means it is having, both A and B are having 3 as common factor. So this is contradicts the fact that A and B are coprime. So this contradicts the fact that A and B are coprime. That is, this contradiction has arisen because of our incorrect assumption that root 3 is rational. So this contradiction has arisen because of our incorrect assumption that root 3 is rational. So by taking a contrary statement, we can prove that root 3 is irrational. So we can conclude that root 3 is irrational. Is that clear, everyone? Did you guys get it? Okay, if not, I'll do some more problems. Okay, from your exercise. Okay, yeah. Let me do some problems from your exercise. In your exercise 1.3, problem number 1, they're asking prove that root 5 is irrational. You just have to follow the same procedure. That is, you just have to take what is the first step you have to take? Consider is root 5 is rational. That means we have to consider the contrary statement. Let us assume that root 5 is a rational number. So if it is rational number, then it should be equal to a by b, where a and b are co-primes. That means they have common factors as 1. Then follow the same procedure, squaring on both sides. That is, you get, sorry, just rearrange this first. Rearrange this, that is b root 5 is equal to a, then squaring, that you get as five b square is equal to a square. So now consider the theorem. So that actually states if a square is divisible by 3, a square is divisible by 5, then a is also divisible by 5, right? So this is that equation states that thus a square is divisible by 5. Okay, so if that a square is divisible by 5 means a is also divisible by 5. So that those numbers a and b are having factors other than 1. That is 5 is their common factor. So this clearly states that a and b are not co-primes. Clearly a and b are not co-primes. Then thus our assumption is wrong. Therefore we can say root 5 is irrational. The assumption that root 5 is rational is wrong. Therefore we can say root 5 is irrational. Is that clear, everyone? Other than Prajwal? Because this is a very important question. Okay, so every year they'll ask to prove whether root 2 is irrational, or root 5 is irrational, or root 3 is irrational. So they'll surely ask this question. So you must understand this. If not, I can't repeat for you again. Fine then. So let me consider Okay. Fine. I'll do one more problem from your exercise. That is problem number 2. That is to prove that 3 plus root 2 5, 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. Prove that 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. So this is quite different, okay, compared to that of the previous problem. Here is we follow quite different steps, no, almost same. Here we assume the first thing is we assume it is the contradictory, that is root 3 plus 2 root 5 is rational. That is, let us assume 3 plus root 2 5 is rational, same thing, okay. Then we can find the coprimes such that the coprimes A and B, where B is not equal to 0, then such that 3 plus 2 root 5 is equal to A by B. Then just rearrange this. Then you get as, just rearrange this, and 2 root 5 is equal to A by B minus 3. Is that okay, everyone? This is how you rearrange this. Okay, then what you have to do is just again square this, or again you can just you can further simplify that 2 root 5 as A minus 3B divided by B. So just rearrange this term, and again you can further rearrange this as root 5 is equal to A minus 3B divided by 2B. Fine. So now you can see, as A and B are integers, okay, as this A and B are two integers here, then A minus 3B divided by 2B, so is a rational number. So as A and B are coprime numbers, those it is coprime number, it is the integer, right? So if you just put any values, so which let's give an example like 15 and 8, okay, 15 and 8, just put it here. So 15 minus 3 multiplied by 8 divided by 2 into 8. So this gives you an integer, right? Yeah. Uh, just a second. If I put 15 and 8 here as 15 minus 3 into 8, again 2 into 8, this gives some integer, that is, am I right? So this is some integer number, whether it may be positive or negative. Okay, this gives you negative, right? So this is a integer number, okay, and further we can simplify this. sorry. This example is not suitable, I guess. Just a second. Uh, okay. Yeah. Okay. This is suitable here. Yeah. So what you get is this 9 and 16. 9 and 16. So here is a square root, right? That is root 5 is equal to that root 5 is equal to 9 by 16. You just simplify this and you get some integer value, right? So this is how you can prove the I'll just finish this problem as well. Just a second. Okay. Yeah. So a minus 3b divided by 2b, that is actually a rational number. It says it is a rational number, but no, it is yeah. So but root 5 is also a rational number. Now just I'll write the statement, that is therefore root 5 is also a rational number, as this root 5 is equal to a minus 3b by 2b, right? So as root 5 also becomes a rational number, but this fact, this contradicts the fact that root 5 is irrational. So we can conclude that, therefore we can conclude that 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. Is that okay? Did you guys get it? So here what we are doing is just taking the contradictory statement. By assuming the contradictory statement, we are proving the actual statement. Okay, fine. So next is, yeah, I'll just do a similar kind of thing, similar kind of problem, that is problem number, yeah, in problem number 3, the third one, third sub. Okay, so this is also same thing. Here we have to prove 6 plus root 2 is irrational. We have to prove this. How we can prove this is just assume that 6 plus root 2 is a rational number. Let a and b where b is not equal to 0 are co-primes. Then 6 plus root 2 is equal to a by b, as we have assumed 6 plus root 2 as rational number. Then just rearranging, you get a by b minus 6. Okay, but look at this, as a and b are integers, since a and b are integers, then a by b minus 6, that will be a rational number. Clear? So if you take any as this co-prime numbers, if I take 18 and sorry 15 and 8, if I take 15 and 8, you will get some rational number. So 15 and 8 minus 6, if you just do this, you'll get some decimals, that is nothing but a rational numbers or terminating numbers, that is rational number, right? Therefore this says that as a minus a by b minus 6 is equal to root 6 plus 2, sorry, what is that? Yeah, as root 2 is equal to a by b minus 6, so it says that root 2 is also rational. But this contradicts the fact that root 2 is irrational number. So we have already proven that root 2 is irrational, right? This contradicts the fact that root 2 is irrational number. So we have already proven this, that is root 2 is a rational number. So here this actually as we have assumed this, that is 6 plus root 2 as a rational number, it shows that root 2 is a rational number. So that is a contradictory to our statement or proof that root 2 is rational number. Similarly, in this case, so here also this gives us a rational number. That means this says that root 5 is a rational. So it can't be, right? Root 5, we have already proven that root 5 is an irrational number. So this is the contradiction. So this contradicts the fact that root 5 is irrational. So we can here also in this previous problem also we can conclude that 3 plus 2 root 5 is a irrational. So is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? I'll give you some homework that is from problem number 3rd in your exercise 1.3. That is the first one, 1 by root 2, as well as the second one, 7 root 5. So these two you need to prove that they are irrational numbers. Is that okay? Also prove that this is one more homework. Prove that root 2 is irrational. Fine. Any doubts here? Any doubts? No, why you guys are not talking actually? Is it problem with the your network connection, or are you shy to talk? Okay. Fine. Yeah, please go through your textbook examples. Those are very important. And these questions, which I just discussed, no, these are repeated every year. No, these are the common questions of your uh, question paper. Fine. So in the next class, we'll discuss regarding uh, decimal expansion, rational numbers, and the decimal expansions, along with some of the left out problems here, the homework problems. I'll also discuss here, but you need to, at least try at your home. Just follow the same procedure as you assume that first the contradiction, that is, it is rational. So as you go on doing that, as you go on simplifying that, you will get this as rational number, but we have already proved that root 2 is irrational, so that is contradiction to our statement, right? So here also, as you went on simplifying this, you will see that root 5 becomes equal to rational number. So this can't be, because we have already proved that root 5 is irrational number. So that is how you do this, solve this numerical. Fine. So what about tomorrow? At what time? So tomorrow we can finish this off, real numbers. Please suggest the timings. Afternoon, 3 to 4. Same timings or 2 to 3? Which one you prefer? Okay, fine then. So yeah, okay. If there is bio class, yeah, fine. Let me know. Okay. I'll just check with him, and yeah, I'll let you know, guys. Okay. So in one class we can complete this real numbers, but please go through the whole class or this thing, and yeah, it is a very easy unit. Actually, you can easily understand this. Okay, and which I said, no, just now, proving irrationality of a number, that is the most common question of all the time. Fine. So yeah, here we can end the class. So bye bye, guys, and hope you guys understood today's class. Any suggestion for that, for today's class? Any feedback? Let me know in the comment section, or you can just direct message me, because I'm going to handle the next uh, unit, polynomials, as well. If you have any feedback, let me know. Okay. So bye bye everyone. Take care.